We have 11 amazing restaurants featuring a wide variety for every price range and appetite. South Point's Garden Buffet has something for everyone at unbeatable prices. Or, if hunger strikes in the middle of the night, join us at Coronado Cafe. The American menu offers breakfast, lunch, or dinner 24 hours a day, plus a Chinese kitchen for authentic Chinese dishes from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. From steak and eggs to wonton soup, it's fast and friendly service 24/7. When you need a quick pick-me-up, you can find it at our state-of-the-art Starbucks just inside the main South Point entrance. Order ahead with the Starbucks app for easy mobile order pickups. Or enjoy your favorites in the relaxing dining area anytime, day or night. If you love Mexican food, Baja Miguel's has all of your south-of-the-border favorites. There are dozens of classics to choose from, like fajitas, ceviche, chimichangas, tacos, and more. And for spirit lovers, Baja's colorful non-smoking tequila bar is right outside.
Hi, I'm Kurt Angle. I represented the United States in the Olympics in 1996 and won a gold medal. Then I parlayed that into a pro wrestling career. I saw a commercial a few years ago.
Tunnel to Towers Foundation made a promise.
The Tunnel to Towers Foundation is paying off the mortgages for Gold Star families with young children. I thought, this is really cool. I want to be a part of it. My dad served in the Army for 30 years. We didn't have a lot of money, but he made sure we had what we needed. He set a great example for all of us. But he died in a construction accident my freshman year in high school. When he died, we didn't have any income coming in, and we ended up being forced to move out of our house. I was devastated. So I understand what these families are going through, and to have an organization like Tunnel to Towers come in and pick you up and carry you and give you a home to live in, I think that's just amazing. I'd like to ask you to donate $11 a month to support these efforts by going to t2t.org or calling 1-844-BRAVEST.
Big-time nighttime pools are always at Los Alamitos, with early Pick 4 pools of more than $175,000 on most nights, and a late Pick 4 pool of more than $150,000 on most nights. Plus, our Pick 6 pools have reached record figures in 2025, including a total pool of over $370,000 on June 15th, and record Pick 6 payouts. Big-time nighttime pools every weekend at Los Alamitos.
The following is a Race Day Las Vegas presentation in association with Siraco Productions Limited on the Race Day Las Vegas Radio Network.
Live from the gaming capital of the world, time for Race Day Las Vegas, covering the sport of kings with a Las Vegas perspective. Now to the race desk with your host, Ralph Siraco.
From the backstretch to the turf club, at the racebooks and on the internet, to all horse players around the world, a good morning. Alrighty, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Race Day Las Vegas radio program, coming to you live and direct from the gaming capital of the world, Las Vegas, Nevada, right here at our South Point studio station, and our South Point studios here at the South Point Hotel Casino Complex in Las Vegas, on Las Vegas Boulevard, in your gaming capital. We welcome you to the show on this almost Friday, Thursday, as we begin looking forward to the weekend here of racing from Las Vegas, looking at it Las Vegas style. And of course, we welcome all of our listeners who are listening on the radio this morning, our anchor station, Sports Talk 1400 AM, 107.1 FM here in Las Vegas. Our websites, racedaylasvegas.com, .vegas.world, .global, iPhone, Android, and Google phone, covered with the apps. KSHP app, you listen through the radio station. The YouTube app, of course, you can see and hear us through the YouTube site as well, and anywhere you get your podcasting. We welcome you to the show. Well, we're going to come up on this weekend. We have no racing in New York now that Saratoga closed on Labor Day. They'll resume on the 11th of this month, back down at Aqueduct Racecourse and the Belmont Fall meeting at Aqueduct. We'll start doing that Belmont at Aqueduct stuff again. But that starts on the 11th of the month. And, of course, Del Mar will roll into their final 3 days of racing tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday to wrap up the Del Mar season in Southern California. And before you know it, we'll be doing our fall run-up to the Breeders' Cup. So that's what we're looking at right now. But in the meantime, we've got mucho buco bucks going on at Kentucky Downs. My goodness. Their purse structure, because of their slot machines that they have there in the casino there, they've got a big weekend coming up, a big Saturday. On Saturday, Kentucky Downs will have 4 races with a $2 million purse, one of which is a Breeders' Cup win in your in race, and then 2 races at $2.5 million. So you got 6 races there that have a total of, $13 million? My goodness. In any case, they drew those races. This is the way it looks like. The $2 million Ladies Marathon will have 11 in the race. Spanish Eyes is the 7-2 favorite in that one. The Mint Million, which is $2.5 million in purse money, has 13 in it. 13, and Laganos is the 4-1 favorite there. The Gun Runner, for $2 million, oversubscribed. They got 14 plus 2 also entries, also eligibles, I should say, in that race. And Namaron is the 4-1 favorite there. In the Music City, that's the $2 million race. You have a dozen in it, plus 4 also eligibles in that race, oversubscribed as well. And Shy So Spicy is the 3-1 favorite in that one. Then you have the Franklin Simpson, which is a $2 million race. Again, an oversubscribed race, 12 in the field plus 4 also eligibles. And Spiced Up is the 7-2 favorite. And in the Kentucky Turf Cup for $2.5 million, 11 were entered, and Grand Sonata is the 4-1 favorite. You can see by the posting of the favorites how wide open these races are going to be on that very challenging and unique undulating grass course that they have at Kentucky Downs. But it's going to be a fun day of racing. And by the way, just in case you're interested at Kentucky Downs, all the big boys will be there because the big money is going to be there. Now, taking a look at that particular race course and how the jockeys perform on that race course, because it is an unusual race course, and you have, of course, jockeys that can handle or figure out at least figuring out trips a lot better than some others. Through the first 3 days of the meet, through the first 3 days of the meet, Frankie Dettori has had 19 starts. He's won 6 races, and most of them were the big money races. So Dettori is hitting at a 31.6% rate there at Kentucky Downs. Kind of makes good sense because, Dettori was riding for years in Europe on those European racetracks, and the Kentucky Downs is the most is the racetrack that's as most like the European tracks here in America. So Frankie Dettori, 6 wins out of 19 starts. Another jockey with a big percentage, 23.1%, is Luan Machado. Now, Luan Machado has had just 13 starts, but he's had 3 wins over those 13 starts for a 23.1% rate there. And Joel Rosario, not doing well at all. Now, Rosario's had 21 mounts. He's ridden 21 mounts over the 3 days and has only had 2 winners for a low win percent rate of 9.5%. So that's just some of the others. Now, Jose Ortiz, of course, who is has been very good over the Kentucky Downs, but he was going back and forth, remember, between Saratoga and Kentucky Downs. Jose Ortiz has had the most mounts as far as the top jockeys are concerned. He's had 29 mounts over 3 days at Kentucky Downs, but he's only had 5 winners. But he is second to Dettori. He's had 5 winners there for a 17.2% rate there. And Tyler Gaffalione, who has done well in the past at Kentucky Downs, is having a slow meet. He's had 31 mounts, okay? So he's had the most mounts out of all of the top jockeys. 31 mounts Tyler Gaffalione has had, and he's only had 3 winners out of those 31 mounts for a low percentage of 9.7%. So we'll wait and see what these jockeys do in the coming days at Kentucky Downs. Now, they have racing today, and, of course, Saturday they'll have racing, and Sunday as well at Kentucky Downs. It's just a little bit of a look into the Kentucky Downs racing. They got a great card today, a great racing card there. We'll get into that with our handicappers a little bit later on, okay? Couple of news items I wanted to bring to you. Turf Paradise. Now, we were talking about Turf Paradise last year with the threatening of closing down Turf Paradise completely, like closing it down. Well, a big horse owner in Southern California and a real estate mogul in Southern California, Gary Hartonian. By the way, Peter Miller, Jonathan Hardin was saying Peter Miller, that's Peter Miller's main big owner. Gary Hartonian has secured a 2-year lease on Turf Paradise from the existing ownership group. Now, the existing ownership group wants to shut down racing, develop that land, make all the money for putting shopping centers, houses, businesses, etc. But he secured a 2-year lease on Turf Paradise. So that means that there's going to be racing at Turf Paradise for the next 2 years. And that racing season is scheduled to open on the November the 10th. November 10th will now be the opening day for Turf Paradise. But Hartonian said he took the 2-year lease out to keep racing alive and going live racing in Phoenix, Arizona, while he searches for another piece of land to build another racetrack in Phoenix. So he plans on building a new racetrack on other land in the Phoenix area and continue racing in Phoenix with a brand new racetrack. And that'll be a 2-year project there. But for the next 2 years, Turf Paradise seems to be settled, and we'll have racing there at Turf Paradise. And what's going on with Remington Park is really something else, folks. I got to tell you, Remington Park, the jockeys have gone on strike. Now, the jockeys, of course, who are in the Jockeys Guild. Not all the jockeys at Remington Park, or for that matter, any racetrack around the country, not all of them belong to the Jockeys Guild, but the ones that have belonged to the Jockeys Guild have boycotted the entry box at Remington Park in Oklahoma because they said they wanted a pay raise and, they just want more money, which they deserve. And so they're going back and forth with right now with Remington Park. So they settled on the losing mounts. Now here are jockeys, little guys who have to watch their weight. They have to make sure they work out, etc. And then they put their lives on the line every day when they go out there and ride horses. They finally got the losing mount pay up to $100 a horse. Excuse me, $100? Now, they don't eat much, that's for sure, but you and I go to the grocery store and we'll spend more than $100 just going to the grocery store. So they finally got it up to $100 for losing mounts. But they also want to have raise the rates in races where you finish second and third and get percentages of the purses, and I think they ought to do that too. And the final thing is they want the Thoroughbred Racing Association of Oklahoma to pay their fees to HISA. The jockeys have to pay a certain fee, assessed fees to HISA. Now, just think about it. They have to pay fees to an organization who will wind up suspending them and giving them days and more fines. But in any case, the jockeys say they want the organization, the Association of Oklahoma, to pick that up. They're getting close, and all I can say is I'm for the jocks on this one. That's for sure. So that's what's going on in Remington Park. And if you want to take a look at what's going on in Remington Park now, there are 5 jockeys who are not in the Jockeys Guild and accepted mounts in Remington Park today. Now, Remington Park, when they officially drew entries Today's first race at Remington Park had 9 original horses going in there. There will only be 5 running. The others are scratched. Second race, there were 7 entered. Now only 4 are running. Third race, there were 8 entered in that race, and there will only be 3 horses running in that one because the others have been scratched because the jockeys will not ride. Fourth race, 10 entered, 5 will run. Fifth race, 8 entered, 5 will run. Sixth race, 9 entered, 5 will run. Seventh race, there were a dozen entered, 5's going to go. Eighth race, 7 entered, and 5 will go. You get the message now that the 5 jockeys who are not in the Jockeys Guild and have accepted mounts are probably riding every one of those races that are 5 in. And in the 9th race, there were 10 entered in the 9th race, and there will be 2 horses, just 2 horses running in that 9th race at Remington Park as they continue with their boycott. We'll wait and see what happens there. All right, just some news items that I wanted to bring you. And, of course, when we get Jonathan Ardoon with us, we'll take a quick look at all of those big stakes races on Saturday at Kentucky Downs, and we'll take a look at what's going on today at Kentucky Downs. They got a big racing card there. So without any further ado, I think we'll take our first break. And when we come back, Jonathan Ardoon is standing by. We'll have John Leno and Jerry J to come aboard with us. Rich Eng's going to be with us a little bit later on to give us not only a race pick, but today is opening day, the official opening day for the NFL football season of the Thursday night game, and we're going to tap him on the shoulder and ask him about that, too. We'll be right back.
South Point Casino has plenty of attractions for the whole family. Catch a movie. Our 16-screen movie theater includes 2 XD Extreme screens for the ultimate in viewing, sound, and luxury. After the show, treat the family to a variety of treats at our old-fashioned ice cream parlor, Kate's Corner. We scoop up a variety of creamy concoctions, including smoothies, hand-dipped cones, milkshakes, malts, sodas, and sundaes. At Kate's, there's something for everyone. And if you still got time to spare, our bowling center might be right up your alley. Voted Best of Las Vegas, it's a great place for friends and family fun. 64 lanes, a pro shop, snack bar, and arcade. And while the kids are bowling, you can play slots and sip on a drink in the Alley Cat Lounge while overlooking the lanes. For our more serious and professional bowlers, the South Point is also home to a separate tournament bowling plaza.
Big-time, nighttime pools are always at Los Alamitos, with early Pick 4 pools of more than $175,000 on most nights, and a late Pick 4 pool of more than $150,000 on most nights. Plus, our Pick 6 pools have reached record figures in 2025, including a total pool of over $370,000 on June 15th, and record Pick 6 payouts. Big-time, nighttime pools every weekend at Los Alamitos.
All right, back on Race Day Las Vegas. Here in Las Vegas right now, it is 83 degrees. We're not going to hit 100 today. We're going to only get up to 91 degrees. 91 today in Las Vegas. It's starting to get real nice out there. It was nice walking through the parking lot. We had a little bit of an overcast, some clouds here and there, and a little breeze. So that was nice. 83 degrees right now. As far as the rest of the country, down in Miami, it is 85 with a little rain going on down there. New York is 79 degrees with no racing. Chicago, 69 degrees there. And in Southern California, 90. It's going to be 90 degrees in Southern California, but no racing at Del Mar anyhow. Phoenix, Arizona is the hot spot in the nation, but I take that back. They are not. They're only at 98. You've got Lubbock, Texas at 99, and Dallas is going to be 102. Dallas, Texas, 102 today as their Cowboys play this evening. All right. But as far as those are the temperatures, as far as the precipitation is concerned, as I say, a little bit going on down south in Florida there, off of the shore there, that might make Woodbine a little bit iffy. And as far as anything else, I understand that from our chatters, that Horseshoe, Indianapolis is muddy. and Woodbine is off the turf today. So that looks like it just about the latest for racing conditions. So let's get started with the racing menu today. First post times, as you know, are that of the Pacific time zone, because that's where we're at here in Las Vegas. Yeah, the South Point. So if you come into the South Point Racebook to play the races, these would be the first post times. We are in the Pacific time zone. If you're in any of the other time zones around the world, you know what to do. Just adjust from the time zone you're in to the Pacific time zone, and then you won't miss anything like I miss Mom and Dad. Don't want you to miss an opportunity to make a bet because you missed the post time, okay? So we begin our racing menu with Colonial Downs. Colonial Downs has 8 races today, most of them on the turf, if the weather permits, and a first post time of 9:30 at Colonial Downs. They do have a pick 6 carryover, and it's a regular pick 6 carryover there at Colonial Downs of $3,744. That's today at Colonial Downs. First post time again, 9:30. All right, then we have Belterra Park. Belterra Park has 8 races today, and their first post time is at 9:35 at Belterra. Delaware Park is in business today. Delaware Park has a first post time for 8 races at 9:45 Delaware Park. Kentucky Downs, 11 races today. And their feature race, just a mere $500,000. It's the One Dreamer at 1 mile and 70 yards, fillies and mares 3-year-olds and up. Sees 9 older fillies and mares going on the, obviously, the turf there at 1 mile and 70 yards. And in that race, the favorite at 5-2 is Vive Vevu, Vive Vevu, with Brian Hernandez aboard. First post time for Kentucky Downs, and their 11 race card is set at 10:25. 10:25 at Kentucky Downs today. Let's see, do they have a carryover? No carryovers there. Okay, Horseshoe Indianapolis. They say the track is muddy. Still on the turf, however, for the turf races there. 10 races, 8 thoroughbreds, 2 quarter horses. The final 2 races will be quarter horses at Horseshoe Indianapolis today, with a first post time of 11:10 there. Hawthorne Racecourse has a first post time today for 8 races at 12:40 at Hawthorne. Then we have Woodbine. Woodbine's got a couple of nice carryovers. Their pick 6 jackpot carryover, $38,025. Their super high 5 jackpot carryover, $41,217. Now, Woodbine has 7 races today, and we have been notified through our chat box that they're off the turf today, but that only means 2 races. There were only 2 turf races scheduled. They were the first and the 4th races. 7 races, Woodbine, a couple of nice carryovers there, jackpot-wise. First post time is 2:30 at Woodbine. Penn National has a pick 5, a regular pick 5 carryover at Penn National, $5,926. First post time at Penn National for just 7 races, set at 2:45 there. Charlestown has a pick 6 jackpot carryover, $2,051. They have 8 races at Charlestown and a first post time of 4 o'clock at Charlestown. And then Remington Park is going to run a race day. They're going to run there at Remington Park with 5 jockeys that are not in the Jock Skill accepting mounts. We already went through the fields there for you, but Remington is set and ready to go today with a 4 o'clock post time at Remington for the abbreviated fields in the 9 races. 9 races at Remington. All right, that's your menu of racetracks available today. Let's get out to Jonathan Ardoon. Jonathan, good morning.
Good morning, Ralph. We were talking about Gary Hartunian, and that's the fellow that owns Rockingham Ranch Stables that they run under, and it used to be Miller's big owner. I think he since split with him, and he's actually all over the place with a bunch of trainers now. But that's the guy, and good for him. He's trying to save Turf Paradise or racing there, so that's good news.
Now, he has also made his money in real estate, right? A real estate developer?
I don't know his business.
Oh.
I know his horse business. But
is he an extensive owner in horse racing, though?
Yes. He owned a lot of horses with Peter Miller for many years.
I understand, but and I guess he would go wherever, like Peter Miller has, now he has, stables at like places like Oaklawn, etc. So.
Right. Yeah.
All right. Well, that's good news. I'm glad that we got somebody there. But, I got to tell you, Jonathan, this is the new age of racing as it competes with gaming in America today. And the two things I think that they have to realize is the big major tracks outside of Churchill Downs that has built this big, huge, gargantuan monument to horse racing, which, I approve of. I think it's great there because of that one big race they have, the Kentucky Derby. By the way, they have a lot of good other stakes races and racing there. But when you take a look at the other big major racetracks, I think they have to pare down the capacity of these major racetracks. I'm sure Belmont Park, when they rebuild, is not going to have the Belmont Park that houses the 60,000 people they had before. They're going to make it the new age type of racetrack where not only is it accommodating for less people in a higher degree of presentation and certainly luxury, but also making them entertainment complexes. And, the day of the big tracks, because if you have a big racing day at a racetrack, they come with those corporate tents and all that other stuff, and they accommodate the big crowds. But it's just economically not feasible. It's not good business to continue to pay to upkeep a big track that has the big crowds only 2 times a year or something like that. So I would hope that when Turf Paradise, when he looks for a new one, not only designs it for less people, because people are betting now through television, through internet, through their phone accounts, and also in at tracks in the lower echelon, which Turf Paradise is, they need the influx of money from casino gambling. They just need that subsidy from casino gambling in the state that they're in, and I hope they can get it there for the new track, et cetera, in Arizona.
Well, most of these tracks do pare down now, Ralph. Look at Aqueduct, which obviously is going to be closed after Belmont opens. They used to have a tremendous grandstand, which they turned into the casino.
Right.
They basically have 2 floors left at Aqueduct in the clubhouse. It used to be humongous. It used to be whatever. But now that's what they do, Ralph. They have no choice. It's just like you said, it doesn't make sense economically to open a track that's going to fit 40,000 people if you're only going to get 2,000 or 3,000 people.
Right.
It just doesn't make sense. So,
right.
But San Antonio, unfortunately, is going to have the same problem because they're big and they have a big plant, and it's one of the most beautiful tracks in the country. It just doesn't fit the times anymore. You don't need a track that's going to seat 40,000 people and get 2,000 or 3,000 people there. It makes no sense.
I know. I think what they did last time I was there, and I haven't been to Santa Anita in quite a few years, but the last time I was there, in the old days, there was the main line down at the bottom, and there were just the pari-mutuel machines and the concession stands along the wall, and then you had that big empty area where it used to be full of people betting. Well, now what they did is they made them little sections of restaurants and places where you can sit in like a patio type area there. But I think if you're going to keep a track that size, you have to utilize those areas for different things. Like you said, Aqueduct, sure, they closed it down, but you still have to maintain the track. I mean, you still have to maintain the building, the painting, and all that stuff that goes with it, utilities, etc. So just building a state-of-the-art racetrack for the way the competition is, the way it is now for racing, is going to be healthy for racing. Trust me, it will be healthy.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, who wants to look at a track that's huge and you see 3 people on the apron of the track?
It's bad psychologically.
Exactly.
But they got no problem with Kentucky Downs, because they got, and not only Kentucky Downs has a casino on the property that subsidizes the purses, and you see how big the purses are at Kentucky Downs now in their short meat. But they are investing money into that plant, making it as big as it needs to be for the crowds they're getting. And they're getting bigger crowds now because it was really small. But they're doing a good job there at Kentucky Downs. And I got to tell you, man, they're just, they got big bucks, man. They're just amazing.
By the way, when you were giving out your list of jockeys there, Irad Ortiz is 5 for 19, so he's hitting at 26%. He didn't make your list, but he probably should have.
Well, let's see. I do have a list here. Where is Mr. Irad Ortiz? Has 11 starts so far.
Jose Ortiz. Sorry, Jose Ortiz.
I mentioned Jose. 29 starts 29 starts, 5 wins, 17.2%. This is for the
Right.
3 days now that they've run
Right.
already. But Irad, who, just stopped in once in a while, went back and forth. If you're talking about him, he's had 11 mounts. He's only had one winner out of the 11
Yeah.
for a 9.1%. But I'm sure they're going to pick it up, folks. I'm sure they're going to pick it
I
up
wouldn't worry about
because
them.
Saratoga is not running now, and
Right.
they'll be there for the big bucks. Like today. Today, the One Dreamer Stakes at 1 mile and 70 yards on the obviously on the turf for fillies and mares 3-year-olds and up. A field of 9. And Vivu, I guess is how Vivu, I guess is how you pronounce it, is the 5-2 favorite with Brian Hernandez.
Yeah, I actually, my radio play for Kentucky Downs came in that race, Ralph, and I like an 8-1 shot. I don't know, by the way, how good the morning line is there because we haven't had a big enough sample, like you said, only a few days of racing. But number 8, Pharaoh's Wine, a 4-year-old filly from the Dale Romans barn, Corey Lannery aboard to ride. This horse hasn't won at Kentucky Downs. This horse, I think, is going to run huge today. 8-1 on the morning line. I like number 8, Pharaoh's Wine, to upset and win this year's One Dreamer Stakes.
All right, you got it. That 9th race, number 8, Pharaoh's Wine. The 8 in the 9th race at Kentucky Downs is Jonathan Hardoon's play on the Race Day Show, officially for the Race Day Show. And Jonathan, I know that we're going to get to the big stakes races on Saturday when we get to Saturday at Kentucky Downs, as well as, your thoughts about Del Mar. But Kentucky Downs, big racing day there. I mean, I think it's like $13 million or so in just the stakes races. My goodness.
It's crazy. And what I would tell listeners to do is pay attention to horses that are coming back and running for a second time at Kentucky Downs. Last year, I think there were 3 horses. Dick Mandela had a 7-year-old that he brought back in a week and won the $2 million race. He won 2 races there in 7 days, and it was for a 7-year-old. Horses that run back there aren't many because it's very hard to get into races there, obviously. But the ones that do get in, pay attention to them because they all run well. And in the 6th race on Saturday, one of those $2 million races, Brad Cox brings back Stellify, who ran on August 28th and won. And Joe Sharp brings back Miwa, I guess, M-I-W-A, however you pronounce it, also ran on August 28th. And both of those horses are coming back and running just a week later. Look for them to run very well. I've noticed it over the last couple of years, but horses that come back and run, that have run at the meet, all seem to run very well.
Well, that is a race that has 11 in it, and in the Milwa will break from post 8 for Joe Sharp at 4-1 on the morning line. And what was the other one you mentioned?
Stellify, the Brad Cox horse, the 6.
All right, number 6, Stellify. She's a 4-year-old filly. And she's by Justify. So, I mean, Justify is her daddy. So that's a goodie there. And it looks like a competitive field, though, that's for sure. But you say that there is an angle there when you can get a horse to get in more than once in Kentucky Downs. It's a plus?
It's a big plus.
Okay, good enough. That sounds good. Maybe we'll check out the entries today at Kentucky Downs and see if any horse falls under that category for today. All right, Jonathan. But I know that you have a complete sheet for Kentucky Downs today, but you also have a complete sheet at Colonial Downs, my man.
Yeah, yesterday was very chalky there, surprisingly. But today I like another price horse. It comes in the 7th race today, 5.5 furlongs, sprinting on the outer turf course. I like the number 8 horse in here, Cavalier Cupid. This is a 6-year-old mare from the Sarah Nagel barn. This horse actually loves this layout. 2 for 4 and a second. So 3 out of 4 times hitting the board. Horatio Camanos aboard to ride, 6-1 on the morning line. I like number 8, Cavalier Cupid, to upset and win today, 7th race out of Colonial Downs.
All right, Colonial Downs. This is scheduled for the turf course at 5.5 furlongs. The 8, Cavalier Cupid, 6-1. The 8 and the 7th race. If for any reason it comes off the turf, is still a play?
No play.
No play.
The
Got to
horse will
stand.
probably scratch. The horse has 14 lifetime starts, 12 of them on the grass. So I would assume that if it comes off, she's coming out.
Yeah. Okay. So 7th race, the 8 horse, if she goes. And, of course, you have 2 full sheets, as I say, 2 handicapping sheets, 1 at Colonial Downs and 1 at Kentucky Downs today, right?
Yes, JONHARDOON.com. Ralph, I missed it. Did you give the weather for Colonial Downs? when you gave your weather rundown? Is there a chance of rain?
Well, let me see again. I didn't exactly do it, but I'll take a look at the map and see. Yeah, there's.
I mean, we did Chicago. We did other places where they're not racing.
Yeah.
We think we would get a couple of places where they are
Well,
racing.
I kind of said that where the most of the racing places are going to be good today. They'll be okay.
I'm not giving you a hard time. I just was wondering if you knew the weather.
By the way, I saw a posting on X yesterday, and it was a race at Horseshoe, Indianapolis, and the guy showed the replay. And this was another one of those things where there's a horse 6-1 going down the backstretch. They hit the far turn. He rolls right up 3 wide on the leaders, about ready to take the lead.
I remember, I saw it too.
And it drops from 6 to 3-1. This is during the court. Now, this is way past halfway through the race.
I don't know. You tell me, Ralph. We talk about it every day. Nothing seems to change. And believe me, people aren't paying attention to the exotics that are really getting destroyed. You notice it after the race is official, where you have an 8-1 over a 6-1. The exacta pays $30. Just crazy prices. I don't know how long they're going to withstand this for, but
I will say this, to be balanced and to give the other side to it. Even if you have, without CAW, even if you have people betting right up until the bell and it starts, it takes a while for those computers to get the odds in there. But that drop in half was noticeable. At
the top of the stretch.
Yeah, it was
I mean, that just looked, and it was when he was making the big move, all of a sudden you see he's going to win. He goes 6-3. It's like someone's punching it.
It's like you sitting there and saying, no, wait a minute, I want that horse now. Anyhow, thanks a lot, Jonathan. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Thanks, Ralph. Stay safe and be well.
All right, you got it, my man. You got to have a sense of humor if you're a horse player these days, folks. That's for sure. They continue to train at the racetracks around the country, and we continue with the Race Day Show with Rich Eng coming up next. Don't go away.
Thank you, buddy.
There are many families that need your help. I'm Mark Wahlberg, and I'm asking you to support the Tunnel to Towers Foundation in their efforts to deliver mortgage-free homes to catastrophically injured service members, Gold Star, and fallen first responders families with young children, as well as eradicating homelessness amongst our veterans. Everybody knows where the money's going. Every single dollar. God bless you. Please contribute $11 a month to support their efforts by visiting t2t.org.
This is speed. This is winning. This is losing. This is smoke and fire. This is high stakes and wild cards. This is family and tradition. This is everything on the line. This is it. This is NASCAR in Las Vegas. The South Point 400, a NASCAR playoff race, October 10th through 12th. Get your tickets now. LVMS.com.
All right, back on Race Day Las Vegas. You know what it is today. It is the opening officially of the NFL season. As they say in many of the commercials here in town, it's back. And now we go out to Rich Eng standing by. Richie, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Ralphie. Good morning, viewers. Good morning, listeners.
Well, we got your futures bets on the show yesterday, but today there is a game between the Dallas Cowboys and, of course, what's your take on the game?
Yeah, Cowboys and Eagles. I
right.
tell you, one of the reasons, Ralph, I like betting these futures in college football and in the National Football League is then when any of my 8 college or 5 pro teams are playing, I do not have to force a bet because I've got those, bets in my pocket already. Whether I want to root for a team to win or a team to lose. Dallas is one of the teams that I bet under the total of 8.5. So I'm rooting for Dallas to lose. But as far as the point spread, which is, what everyone's concerned with,
Sure.
in football betting, Chris Andrews opened the line Philadelphia 7 earlier before this week of the regular season. And that has been bet up to 8.5, 9 in books around town, Ralph. So, I can't in good faith tell people to bet the Eagles at -8 or -9 when a couple of weeks ago they could have bet them at -7. That's like in horse racing. If you like a favorite and the morning line is 3-1 and the horse is going off at 4-5, do you still bet the horse at 4-5? Well, most likely not, unless you're positive the horse is going to win. But in football, you got to cover 9, you got to cover 8.5. But I hate the thought of actually having to bet on Dallas at +9, but that might be the way to go because they still have Dak Prescott. I know they traded away Micah Parsons, which weakens their defense, but they're still, they're an okay football team. They're not great, but they're an okay football team. But if you remember that last year, in the first couple of weeks of the season, there was tremendous chaos. There were huge upsets left and right all over the National Football League. So it's hard for me to recommend betting the Eagles at -9. I would probably, if I was absolutely forced to bet, I would try to get the +9. But here's another angle, Ralph. If you can find a book that has -8.5, bet a 6-point teaser with the Eagles, knocking them down to -2.5, and find a couple of games on Sunday to also throw into your teaser at -6.
I will say this: there's an over/under bet today as well, and the first couple of games in the NFL, when the starters are playing, since the starters only play maybe 1 or 2 series during preseason, it's almost like their preseason. And a lot of times the offenses will be a little bit off because they haven't played in real games. They've practiced, but they haven't played in real games a lot. And sometimes because the defense is mostly reactionary, the defense sets up reactionary to an offensive play, that sometimes, like in the first weeks, it might be a good idea to bet the total under.
Well, that's certainly possible, but also you have to think about the side of the defenders, Ralph. A typical football game will consist of about 60, 65, 70 offensive plays. And if the defense during the preseason basically only played 1, maybe 2 series at most, when they go into the second half, now, instead of playing 8 or 10 or 12 snaps in preseason, now they're going to have to be, able to play 60 snaps. They could just as easily get tired in the second half. The weather is going to be beautiful in Philadelphia, 75 degrees, and just a nice day in Lincoln Field. But there's also certainly the possibility the defense will get tired in the second half because they haven't played much. And here's another angle. If you think the Eagles are going to blow out Dallas, that means Dallas is going to have to throw the ball almost all the time in the second half to try to catch up, which in my mind might lead to an over.
Yeah, it might lead to a lot of interceptions too. You never know.
Turnovers are things that are hard to handicap, but certainly can inflate the score.
Celebration, though, that's for sure. When they're going to celebrate their Super Bowl win, I know tonight there as well. So we'll wait and see about that. But it's back. NFL is back. So we will take a pass on your actual making a pick tonight, but we will certainly take in consideration a lot of your analysis of the game itself. But we do want to pick from you today, probably at Kentucky Downs.
Yeah, the last race at Kentucky Downs, Ralph. It's only a $100,000 purse, which seems minute compared to the money they've been dishing out so far. But we'll try the number 5 horse, McGinnis on Tap. I looked at the spelling of this horse's name. I must have gone through it about 10, 12 times trying to figure out how do you pronounce his name. But I finally broke it down to, if you could take a look at it, Ralph, is my Guinness on Tap. Guinness being Guinness Stout.
Right.
So anyway, Tyler Gaffalione riding for Brendan Walsh. This horse was heavily favored in debut, got beat 3/4. Just a little bit of improvement gets the job done today. Let's go McGinnis on Tap, number 5 in the 11th.
Okay, and we'll get that a winner and have a nice Guinness afterwards. In the 11th race, number 5, McGinnis on Tap, 3-1 on the morning line with Tyler Gaffleone, the 5 in the 11th and final race today at Kentucky Downs. And Richie, you got a full sheet, handicapping sheet for Kentucky Downs today.
Yes, I do. And we'll have a full weekend of Del Mar and Kentucky Downs on Saturday and Sunday.
You got it, my man. Thanks a lot. And we'll talk to you after that first game is over tomorrow.
Hey, thanks, Al. Good luck, everybody.
All right, taking our final break, and then we're going to get thoughts from John Lindo and Jerry Jackowitz, so don't go away.
South Point is also proud to provide a variety of relaxing amenities for the guests who want to be pampered. Soak up the sun and let your stress melt away in our lagoon-style paradise swimming pool. A relaxing getaway where you can bask in the desert sun and enjoy seasonal food and bar service poolside. And if you really want to escape, come to Spa Costa del Sur. From couple suites to a co-ed wet area, our spa caters to business and leisure travelers who want to unwind and elevate their senses. A visit to one of our spa's steam, sauna, or whirlpool treatment rooms will leave any guest feeling like they can take on the world.
You get value with the home team.
Even though the total's been batted down a little bit, I still think it's okay to go under.
Lean into the favorite. I do like the over.
You're talking about two-way action, over 3 touchdowns.
The wise guys are certainly not going to play the favorites.
If you see a hook here, it's not going to last long.
Are we sure either of these quarterbacks are good?
Hell no, we're not sure.
The Race Day Las Vegas Show, the only exclusive daily local media racing information source in Las Vegas.
Alrighty, back with Race Day Las Vegas. We're going to go out to Southern California where John Lindo is standing by, getting ready for the final days at Del Mar. John, good morning.
Good morning, Ralph. How you doing?
I'm doing fine, my man. I know that you have a Lindo report today here at the South Point covering the last 5 races at Kentucky Downs today, right?
Yeah, we did the late pick 5 today, and we're back to Del Mar for closing weekend starting tomorrow. And we'll do the pick 6 sequence at Kentucky Downs Saturday. 5 of the races are part of those multi-million-dollar stakes races,
Mm-hmm.
so we'll kind of do a little coverage there as well.
So you'll really concentrate on all the stakes races at Kentucky Downs tomorrow. You do, though, actually have a jockey trainer standings for the first 3 days.
Yeah, not a lot of numbers yet, but not surprisingly, Frankie Dettori riding that course well over there at Kentucky Downs, 6 wins. You mentioned Jose Ortiz, he's got 5 winners, and Tyler Gaffleone and Luan Machado, they're next with 3. Obviously, after 3 days racing. As far as the trainers, Joe Sharp is the only trainer with 3 wins. There are 5 guys with 2, including Rudolph Brissett, Mike Maker, Wesley Ward, George Arnold, Brad Cox, and Mike Stidham. So maybe 6 of them. They've each got 2 winners. And Ralph, most surprising of all to me, favorites are winning at 50% at Kentucky Downs. The record an absolute, just throw your darts kind of thing, but it hasn't been that way so far.
Yeah, I got to tell you that with the big fields and the big, a lot of competition in the race, to see 50% favorites really is, kind of an eye-opener. But that's the case. And as you know, if you run a meet long enough, it usually evens out to where it gets to 30%. So we'll wait and see what happens in the 30s, I should say. We'll wait and see what happens today. But a good day, a good competitive card again today at Kentucky Downs. And I know that you have, like I said, selections in the last 5 races at Kentucky Downs. You have one for us today?
Yeah, let's go to race number 8 at Kentucky Downs. In the 8th race today, number 8, Dark Vintage, really got pinned in tight along the fence at Ellis Park last time, ran second, galloped out in front. That was at 5.5. Gets 6.5 down the hill with a wide course. A little better trip here. This horse will probably be finishing at a big number, 15-1 on the morning line.
Wow.
I like his chances. Number 8, Dark Vintage, race number 8 at Kentucky Downs.
All right, the 8th race at Kentucky Downs looks like a pretty wide open event, too, at 6.5 furlongs. The 8th race, number 8, Dark Vintage, 15-1 on the morning line with Brian Hernandez aboard. The 8 in the 8th race, that's easy to remember. I would love to get that one home a winner, that's for sure. And, John, like I say, you'll be doing the Linda Report, of course, for the last 3 days at Del Mar, which is tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday. Thoughts about Del Mar?
Well, it's a good meet. I mean, the field sizes, we talk about almost 8.5 to 9 horses per race is fantastic. Just as a comparison, Saratoga, I think, at 7.5, 7.52 was the average field size there. So California gets a bad reputation, but during Del Mar, these races fill.
They sure do, that's for sure. And some crazy results like we had on Monday, man. It was unbelievable. But in any case, we'll look forward to the last 3 days down at the beach before they head on back up to the city, so to speak. And we'll talk to you tomorrow for the first of the last 3 days at Del Mar as well.
Looking forward to it, Ralph. Good luck today.
All right, you got it. Don't forget, folks, John Lindo's Linda Report for the last 5 races, Kentucky Downs, available right now here at the South Point, only here at the South Point, in the gaming capital, free of charge, because they love horse players here. Hey, Mr. Go ahead and say it, Jerry.
Good morning, Ralph.
There you go. Good morning, Jerry. How are you?
Pretty good.
I was just going to say, I thought you were going to mention your Giants cap since it was the NFL.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I
Now
got
you
a Raiders shirt on.
Oh, you got Raiders and Giants.
I'm all footballed up.
Okay.
I'm excited for tonight.
You are, and why is that? Do you have a?
Well,
do you have
Eagles and Eagles in Dallas tonight on Thursday Night Football.
Right, and
they could both hurt themselves.
They can both hurt themselves, but one of them's going to get a win, and that means your Giants.
Right, well,
that means your Giants, and that means your Giants got to catch up.
Well, that's going to happen. That has to happen. But I'm just excited for football.
Yeah, so am I. It's going to be a lot of fun. Thursday Night Football. Okay, listen. You don't have any selections today, and we got about 2 minutes left on the show. So I'm just going to give it to you. And if you don't have a thought about anything, then I'll just ask you what you thought about.
I have a great big thought.
Go.
Okay, so we've been talking about savers, and it's very clear that you and I are on different sides of the saver.
Mm-hmm.
You make your bet, and then you see a horse that's 40-1 that you think is like, oh, this has a little bit of a chance, and you'll bet a couple of dollars, $2, $10, whatever, on that saver. And I always say to you, that's the wrong way to do it. The right way to do it is you make your bet on a horse that you think, and then if you see something that's like got great value that you think is worth a bet, make a full bet on that. Don't bet if you can't bet a full bet on it.
I didn't say that, Jerry. You're assuming that. I said I make a saver on it. I didn't say I made a less of a bet on it. I said I made a saver on it. So you misconstrued that.
Okay, well, a saver to me indicates, and this I think most people think this way, a saver indicates to me that someone's betting, let's say they're betting $10 or $20 in a race, and they see something that's a big price, they'll bet $2 on it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm saying that's wrong.
Okay, but that's your definition of a saver. Me betting a saver means that if the initial play doesn't win and this one does, I'm going to get my money.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's wrong. You're supposed to not make the bet back. You're supposed to make what you would make on a full wager.
That's exactly right. That's what I'm saying. I make that bet in case the original one loses, I get that money. Whatever I would bet, if I bet $20 on, if my initial bet is $20 to win on a horse, I'll make a $20 saver bet. The savers.
Oh, I see. Or you'll make the same size
right,
wager.
Exactly.
That's correct.
The name saver, I think you misconstrued as a lesser play. The saver is just that, to save, to get a play. At 40 to 1.
Okay, so that's the point, and that's my point.
Oh man, are you kidding? Are you kidding me? At 40 to 1, if you don't bet that horse and that thing that gets there, you're going to feel bad collecting just a couple of dollars on it instead of your base bet.
Right.
Yeah.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
So the point is, so we are in agreement. And
yes, we are.
And that's all the point is that if you're making a $2 bet, let's say you're a $10 better.
Yeah, we got to wrap it. We got to wrap it up. But the
what
point
ends up happening, real quickly, what ends up happening is you make a lot of these $2 bets and they do nothing.
No, I don't. No. I'll just, when I say saver, I mean save with the amount of money I usually play. Go ahead and say it. Say it quick.
Have a great race day, everybody.